Gracious Minerva, goddess of wisdom, healing, the arts, and crafts, may you teach without chiding, instruct me kindly, make your ways my ways, so that I may teach others kindly. Fill my mouth with words of wisdom, to pierce the soul and raise the spirit. Lady of wisdom, instruct me, humble me, blessed be. Minerva means intellect. She is the Roman goddess of wisdom, trade, the arts, medicine, poetry, and handicrafts. Many view her as just the Roman equivalent to Athena, but I would like to share with you a different story. My Minerva predates the Hellenization of Rome. In fact, before Rome was even established as the great empire it became, there was my Minerva. This is the Etruscan triad. Back in January, we had a presentation on the Strega, and we looked at this triad as the original that became the gods and goddesses of Rome and Greece. Um, the big shot here, Tinia, god of the sky. He may remind you of Zeus or Jupiter with his eagle at his feet and his lightning bolt in his lap there. His wife, Uni, the goddess of women and fertility and family and marriage, with her peacock, will remind you of Hera or Juno. But it's this third part of the triad that is my patron goddess, with her owl at her feet. This is Minerva. Notice the spelling of the original ancient Etruscan. Uh, it starts MEN. So we get words like mental and mentor from the goddess Minerva. Wisdom, art, and medicine. The Etruscan Minerva was not a military deity. So Minerva's association with warfare only came after the Greek stories were adopted, and she was associated with Athena. Because the two goddesses were completely combined, Minerva added many domains that were not part of Athena's original Greek mythology. So in a lot of ways, they complement each other. Ovid was the author of the epic poem Metamorphosis, in which he named Minerva as the goddess in several Athena stories, as such as her dealings with Arachne and Medusa. But the ancient writer described Minerva as the goddess of 1,000 works because of the many roles she played in Roman religion and daily life. Some of these include medicine. In some contexts, she was called Minerva Medica and served as a patroness of physicians. This aspect of the goddess became particularly important in Roman Britain. Archaeological evidence from Britain seems to suggest that there Minerva was associated with local beliefs about femininity and the afterlife. But Minerva's most prominent role in Britain was that of a healer. She was equated with the Celtic goddess Sulis. To the Celts, Sulis was a mother goddess who also brought curses down on her worshippers' enemies. Her most important following was at Bath, where she was the goddess of the local hot springs. The waters at Bath had been used for ever for healing purposes. The naturally heated springs are rich in minerals and are still used today to provide relief from arthritis and other types of physical pain. The Romans and Celts alike associated Minerva and Sulis with one another as goddesses of healing. The two became so closely linked that in much of Britain, they were known by the same name, Sulis Minerva. Here's a picture of Sulis Minerva here at the hot springs. The fact that Sulis could bring down terrible curses also likened her to Minerva, particularly as the tales of Ovid's Metamorphosis spread. The people of Roman Britain believed that Sulis Minerva could use the waters of Bath to fully cure the cause of pain, but only if she were given full credit for the healing. Many messages scratched on sheets of metal known as curse tablets have been found around Bath. Written in Latin, they call on Sulis Minerva to punish people for wrongs committed against the writer, in one case for stealing their clothes while they visited the healing baths. Can you imagine being on that archaeological dig when they found that piece of metal? Curse this person, Sulis Minerva. They stole my clothes while I was in the water. Now I got to walk home naked. Uh, Another aspect of Minerva, Minerva Lucinia, the nightingale, was revered by poets and actors. A guild of performers made offerings at Minerva's temple in Rome. She was often associated with the performing arts because she was said to have invented the flute. This pendant here depicts Minerva and Pan. All right, legend goes that Minerva carved a flute and sat down in the woods to play it. She did not like the sound, however, and threw it down on the ground. A passing satyr picked it up. Imagine that. Do you think that Minerva created the pipes of Pan? I'm just going to put that out there, leave that question hanging. See what you think. But I'm sure it would make a pretty fine panto if we were going to do something like that. Of course, Minerva is the goddess of all crafts, right? Like Athena, Minerva was associated with the so-called feminine crafts like weaving, but Minerva's role was expanded to make her more prominent in traditionally male professions, such as carpentry and masonry. She's like a female Lou. That's what I would liken her to. Just anything that starts in the mind and works its way down through the hands is the works of Minerva. She's the goddess of fiber magicians for sure. When it comes to later on, when war strategies were added to her abilities and skills, Minerva Armapotens, right, was still not in rival with Mars. Her sword points down to the ground in honor of those fallen. She has sympathy for the dead. And as Mars took on a more aggressive aspect, Minerva's role in war was that of the strategist. Minerva uses brain over brawn and hopes for a minimal death toll, even when she is considered a goddess of war. But that didn't come till later on when the Greeks likened her to Athena. Where she really shines was commerce in the Etruscan civilization. As the goddess of crafts, Minerva's Etruscan origin made her a goddess of trade, because what are you going to do with those things that you make? You're going to sell them or trade them for other things that you need. Roman writers emphasize this in the myth of patronage of Athens, which Minerva Castices won over Poseidon. The story goes that Poseidon and Minerva were both in the running for the honor of patron to a great city. Minerva suggested a contest to win the hearts of the people. Poseidon thrust his trident in the ground and created a great body of water, which thrilled the people until they discovered the water was salty. Minerva created the olive tree, which could grow in the salty soil. The city became Athens, although I think Minervaville would have been a better choice, but that's just me. And this is actually this picture, if you can see it, I don't know if you've got people's faces in front of it. This is my coin here, a coin of Minerva's. This was given to me on my birthday by Calliope, and it depicts Minerva standing next to uh, an olive tree. All right. Then there is Minerva Mensa. Okay. Mathematics and the calendar. She who measures time dates way back to the Etruscan era. According to Levi, a Roman historian, the ritual of marking the year was conducted at Minerva's temple because she had invented numbers. And if you can see the picture that I chose to represent Minerva Mensa, of course, remember who was it that uh, got the Ministry of Magic to agree to loan Hermione the time turner, Minerva McGonagall. And it is the uh, archetype of teacher inventor that we have with Minerva. Following this archetype may suggest a love of passing on wisdom and learning to others. This goddess's wise counsel can also be called upon to help you see a way through any present difficulties or to help you master a new skill. Of course, there is always a shadow aspect to an archetype, and this would be to manipulate. Remember, whenever we find ourselves in a teaching or mentoring role, we must aim to be a positive role model, encouraging others to reach their full potential. So, this is just some of the many aspects of the goddess Minerva, a really, truly a goddess of 1,000 works. Let's talk a little bit about her sacred plants and animals. All right. Well, we know about the olive tree. Oh, here's a better picture, close-up picture of my necklace. There's Minerva by the olive tree. See, 1956. um, and
Yep, that's it.
this is a mulberry tree. That's another one of her uh, sacred trees. Also, an alder tree. Um, each one has connotes different aspects of art, of the art of healing and of commerce, as Minerva would have it. The olive branch, like Birch said, has long been a symbol of peace. Olive trees can live thousands of years, so stand as a symbol of longevity. And the fruit of the tree provides food as well as fuel. The health benefits are still held as true today, so it's surely still a lasting gift from the goddess after all this time. The mulberry tree was well known in the ancient civilizations of the world. Mulberries are actually a good source of raw food protein, which is a rarity among fruits. They are also good source of magnesium, potassium, riboflavin, iron, calcium, vitamin C, and fiber. The history of mulberries is connected to the growth of the silk industry, as mulberry leaves were used to fatten the silkworms. So here we have the health benefits and the trade benefits, definitely um, in the Minerva's wheelhouse. We should all be eating mulberries, I think. I'm going to find some. The alder is the most common tree in river and lakeside forests, and it actually improves soil fertility through its ability to fix nitrogen from the air. So, an alder tree is a healing tree. It heals the ground that it grows into. The perfect tree for Minerva. Of course, her sacred owl from time immemorial. She has had an owl. Um, Owls represent wisdom, knowledge, change, transformation, intuitive development, trusting the mystery. They are tied to the spiritual symbolism of death, which brings about new beginnings with a higher understanding and evolved perspective. Owls can show up when you are being asked to listen to your intuition. Definitely the wisdom of Minerva. And of course, I got to mention my little spider here. Um, as a weaver of the web, the spider symbolizes the spirit of creation and craftsmanship. In several traditions, she's the totem symbol of the mother, strong feminine energy, just like Minerva. So, this is Minerva's temple in Rome that was dedicated in 28 BCE. This is Minerva's temple in Tamarack. It was dedicated in 2015. um, some of you might recognize it. Maintaining Pax Diorum, peace with the gods, was a continual process in ancient Rome. Roman gods did not demand constant professions of faith, but they did require that humans respect their power and acknowledge their participation in the universe. In addition to prayers and vows, there were fixed dates or festivals dedicated to various deities. Minerva's Day is March 19th. So we have a few weeks to think about what we're going to do on March 19th. I always rededicate my um, temple, my craft room to Minerva in some way at that time. So I got to think of something. Minerva's annual festival was one of Rome's grandest holidays. It was said to be her birthday. Known as the Quinquatria, it was celebrated on the 5th day after the Ides of March, March 19th. However, was only the first day of 5 days of games and performances in the goddess's honor. According to Ovid, March 19th was the day of Minerva's birth, and as such, it was forbidden to shed blood on that day. The often bloody games and contests of Rome were therefore replaced on the first day with contests of poetry and music. So they had a rap battle instead of a gladiatorial battle on that day. The emperor appointed a college of priests to take over the traditional poetry and oration events, as well as to stage plays to mark the day. While the 19th of March was a peaceful day, the following 4 days marked Minerva's new role in war. On the days of raised swords, martial competitions were held before enormous crowds. So this just shows you how differently Minerva was um, worshipped in Rome. Um, Differing accounts of Minerva's festival suggest that these crowds were not originally part of the celebration. The Quinquatria probably began as a 1 day event, but Julius Caesar expanded the holiday to include 4 days of gladiatorial combat and games to entertain and appease the people of Rome. They loved those battles. Minerva's festival was also a holiday for artisans and craftsmen in Rome, as she was their patronage. Many would close their shops for the day to attend the festivities. Each year on March 19th, I rededicate my craft room as a temple to Minerva. I have done this in a number of ways. I have held ritual where we have weaved a group project. One year, the year the pipes busted, I emptied the temple and made large donations of crafting supplies as I sorted through it all. I have been given donations from many sources and used the supplies to teach others. Minerva always provides. And it's so true that I want people to ask me first, if you need some yarn, some material, bells, baubles, bows. Ask me first. Minerva may have that for you. And then if you're ever getting rid of anything, Birch is a regular in Minerva's temple. Minerva knows her very well. But it's I want it to be like a clearinghouse for crafting. And this is what I always use when we have a craft night at CUUPs. Before we buy anything, we ask Minerva if she's got it first, because it might be in there somewhere. Who knows? Let's see. So this is a setup that I made up for tonight. It's right behind me here. Um, we're going to have a meditation and ritual in a few minutes. This altar is dedicated to Minerva, and the theme of it is handmade gifts. Most of the things on this table are handmade. Most of them were given to me as gifts. Even the table that it's on. This was Mitch's mother's sewing table. He gave it to me. What a great gift. Imagine. Um, he also made the log back here. He hollowed out this log. We drilled a little hole in it, and it's an incense burner. And he gifted that to us. This statue of Minerva was given to me by Dragonfly on a Minerva's Day celebration that we had here at the house. And these stones, the Lord and Lady, were hand painted by an artist commissioned by Thorn. Some of you may remember Thorn. He was a regular at CUUPs, and he gave this to Carl and I. He had them made for us, and they always sit on this little table to remember him and Mitch's mother, and those who are remembered live. This candle, though not handmade, is orange for creativity and used in my fiber magic classes. We just made our little besoms a couple of weeks ago, so I'm going to use that tonight. This is a handmade pewter chalice that Carl gifted to me one year. It's got a mermaid. He loves the sea. This is my wand and my athame. They are hand carved crochet hooks. They are made of wood. They were made out of one stick of wood. And right here, if you notice, there's a little ring that moves around freely. That was hand carved to move around freely out of one piece of wood. And this one's got a kitty cat on it. This little bowl was made by my daughter in arts and crafts in school. She gave that to me. So everything on this altar is either handmade or a gift or both. And that's what we're going to use tonight. I added one more thing to this altar. I made this little guy. This is the owl of Minerva, and he's going to take part in our ritual tonight. So he's going to join us. But first, we're going to do a meditation to get in the mood. What I want us to do is go straight from the meditation to our ritual. So if anybody has any other comments or questions, then please do so now, or for 15 minutes, hold your peace. Because I want to go smooth from the meditation into the ritual.
I have one comment.
Yes.
Is it appropriate to be doing this ritual and meditation with an owl and a crocheted kitty cat?
Absolutely. They are welcome.
Okay.
You know, I want to say a little something about, we know that when we create handmade items, we transfer our energy into that item. When we're making a gift, the energy is that of kindness and generosity. And generosity always attracts abundance. So when I make a gift for a person, it's a different process than making items like to sell in my shop or a craft show. I'm thinking about that person when I'm doing it. I'm thinking about what that person might need, what energies they might need. I also keep a link to most of the items that I make. So if you have a gift from me that I made, you have a link to me. And it's not scary. I'll just suddenly just think of you sometime during the day, and I'll send a little healing to that thing because I figure you might need it, or it wouldn't hurt whether you need it or not. I always send it um, for the greater good, to your higher self, and to harm none, you know? So that's where my crafting becomes my craft, because it becomes a way that I share healing with people. It comes through the things that I make. And it's funny sometimes how I'll just suddenly remember making something, and I'll think, oh, what's going on in that person's life? And just send them a little boost, Why not? I think most of you have connections. I have connections with most of you out there. Any other questions or comments or anything? All right. Get ready. We're going to have a meditation. The meditation is dedicated to Minerva, and it's entitled Dress Me in Her Love. You can close your eyes during this meditation, or you can focus on this beautiful picture of Minerva and her majestic owl here. So that's your choice. All right. Take a deep breath. sit back and relax, settle in, and breathe deeply. Picture yourself walking on your path. Enjoy the scenery around you. Breathe in, breathe out. The fresh air is fragrant with your favorite scent. Listen to the lovely sounds around you. This is your path. It is what you make of it. It will lead you where you intend to go. All is well. Take a look down at your feet and notice your shoes. They are fine shoes. They are well made from the highest quality materials. They are also well fitting, soft and comfortable, every stitch in place. These shoes are your foundation. They keep you walking on your path without fear. You have made these shoes, created this foundation. You have put in the time and have done the work. You are knowledgeable and capable. These shoes will serve you well. Thank you, Goddess, for our firm foundation. Now direct your attention to your legs. Your legs are covered with the finest silk leggings. They fit you like your own skin and support your every step, not too tight, not too loose. They are flexible and strong. They are your strength. You created these leggings that you wear so proudly now. Every time you stood up for yourself or someone else, every time you did the right thing when it would have been easier to do nothing, you wove a silken thread through these leggings of strength. Thank you, Goddess, for our strength and determination. A gentle breeze picks up, and it causes you to notice that you are wearing a beautifully appointed kilt or skirt. It is well pleated and colorful, handsome, of the finest fabric. It dances in the breeze as you walk along your path. It is your passion, your zest for life, and all of creation. You have created it because you can see the beauty in everything around you. You do not miss a thing because you are attuned to nature herself. You are a child of the goddess. Thank you, Goddess, for our passion. The breeze becomes a little chilly, but this does not concern you because you just pull a little tighter on your handsome cloak of protection. You are always wearing this cloak, even if others do not recognize it. Members of your tribe will see it. It is masterfully embroidered with the symbols of your faith. You have embellished it yourself. It is exactly what you need to resist all of the outside worldly things which pound on us each day. All you have to do is pull up that cloak and wrap it around you tight. Wrap yourself in your beliefs, and you are protected. This is what keeps you going when others around you are in despair. Thank you, Goddess, for this protection. Thank you for our beliefs. As you pull your cloak closer, you notice that your arms and hands are covered with the most exquisite jewelry. These are the gems of your expression. You have set every stone in these bracelets and rings. Every time you have expressed love for another person or love for yourself, you have added a jewel to your collection. Take note for a moment how they reflect your inner light and how they catch the light of others. It is so beautiful. Thank you, Goddess, for showing us your light first. Thank you for helping us shine for ourselves and for others. I do not think any outfit is truly complete without a hat. Do you? And this hat that you are wearing is a fancy hat indeed. It is your spirit, wondrous and whimsical. You have designed this hat and you wear it so well, it is yours and yours alone. No one else can wear it like you do, so wear it proudly. Thank you, Goddess, for giving us spirit. The Goddess has another gift for us, and that is the gift of each other. As you are walking along your path dressed in your finest, you notice there are others on their own paths not far away. Once in a while, your path converge with theirs, and you greet each other with hugs, great hugs that last forever. Remember hugs? There is time to admire each other's handiwork and give compliments because it is well deserved. Learn to accept compliments for the same reason. You are worthy. It is time to come back to the real world now, but remember, you are always wearing those shoes of foundation, those leggings of strength, that skirt of passion, the cloak of protection, the jewelry of expression, and that hat of your spirit. Your tribe will see these things on you and they will recognize you. Thank you, Goddess, and blessed be. Take a deep breath in and out, and just sit for a moment and consider your outfit while we prepare for ritual. Sweep up high, sweep down low. Chase away all signs of woe. I banish all that is profane. Only blessings shall remain. Blessed be. In every direction, sky to ground, I cast this circle round and round. We stand between the worlds protected, within the walls of this circle projected. So mote it be. We call to the east for inspiration and light the incense sweet. We call to the south for passion and offer the fire of creativity. We call to the west for emotion and offer the waters of life. We call to the north for sustainability and offer the salt of the earth. So mote it be. Blessed is Minerva, great goddess of crafts, who helps us to conjure the world with our hands, to take the mundane with its worry and strife, to weave in the magic and bring it to life. My magical working for tonight will be to gift this owl to one of our participants tonight. That is why Suzette put all your names in the bowl. A picture in the mind so clear, it must travel down the artist's arm and come alive to greet the world as clothing fair or blanket warm, hidden deep within the thread, love so strong it will not fade. So much more is passed along when we give life to that handmade. Suzette, will you pick a name for this owl?
I will. Shake them up. Okay. Matthew.
Matthew. Matthew, please accept this handmade gift. It is a gift from Minerva, as created through my hands. May it bring joy and inspiration to you. May it move you to pass on the blessings of Minerva. Blessed be. Thank you, Minerva, for your attention this night. May we stay crafty and thoughtful always. We release the quarters and thank them for sharing the sustainability, the emotions, the passion, and the inspiration of their directions. This rite has ended. We open this circle and step back into reality. Although we are no longer between worlds, we acknowledge both exist. May any entities who were attracted to our workings part peacefully, harming none. So mote it be. Thank you.